like to introduce as well Ying as the next speaker. Ying is coming from Singularity Academy, which is headquartered in Zurich. And you have campus across the Netherlands, Germany, and Switzerland. And very much looking at online and offline university programs aiming to provide students a very unique platform. Thank you for joining and sharing your story.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I don't need this right now because I only have one slide. So very happy to be here. This is my many years of the live participation, and then I find out that on this street of the Davos, the slogan is changing every year. So in the beginning, I remember I often see that, oh, we have to be globalized, and we have to be internationalization, and then afterwards become like, we have to be innovative, and now we have to be sustainable. So as a professor who worked across the world in different universities, I often ask myself, what is actually our goal as a humanity, as a human beings on this planet? And what is actually the problem? So I very appreciate that this session brought out a lot of best practice from the companies, industry, talking about their approach to the sustainability, to the green economy. But I have a question to all of you as an audience. So please listen carefully. Do you really believe sustainability? And do you really think that by 2030 or 2050, the whole world will achieve to the green economy? So what is the point we sit here? What do we talk about? That is actually the biggest question as an educator and also as a scholar, as a researcher, as a professor crossing the world. We're often asking that why we are still following the traditional education system where we trained the mass talents, so-called human capital, who still serve the state shareholder-based companies. You know, I remember my colleague here mentioned that in terms of social impact, environment impact, and you also need to achieve the business impact. Otherwise, I'm sure the shareholder won't be happy, right? But in the university, we teach kids, we teach from the 0 years old growing up and to the university, we teach kids how to make more money and how to sustainability-based making more money. And then if you go to the curriculum carefully, you find out all the curriculum is still about how to make more money for the shareholder. And sustainability is just adding up on very, very little portion of the curriculum among all the package. That's really side. And if we go to the companies, corporates, and industries, we find out that do you really think people who work on the sustainability department, who is the director of sustainability, really is kind of the board member in the company, in the group? I believe you're not the board member of the group. So how can we achieve sustainability? So if we want to achieve that, we have to ask, what is actually the sustainability? Is that only the green economy? Is only the circular economy? I often ask my colleague, I said that why there is no circular society, only circular economy. If we talk about economy, we are basically talking about capitalism-based economy. So it's a shareholder-based economy, right? Am I right? Do you agree with? Yeah. So if we think about this loop, in Singularity Academy, we have several projects and supervising PhD students, master thesis, and we find out this kind of confusion coming not only from normal corporate staff, but mainly from the government staff. I often been asked by the government staff how to achieve 2030 zero net. And I said, hey, you're the government staff, you ask me. And then if I go to the executive education about sustainability, I ask around, I say, who is from the government? Nobody. But the power is in the government. You see my point? So we are like a little ant and moving slowly on different spots and talking about how to use technology to help the economy, to help the environment. But on the top level, those brains has no brain about sustainability. And that brain is still controlled by the capitalism-based economic power. That's very sad. If I go a little bit further upper, sustainability means that we need to hold and endure our survival and survival. It means that we have to keep our system rigor and keep our system as a whole to resist all the disease. If any disease happened, our diversity could help us to change and to self-healing. But do you think our system able to self-healing? If that is the case, then the war between Russia and Ukraine wouldn't be happening, right? So this is a problem. We only talk about macro level. This macro level is at the middle level, corporate level, industry level, but we not really talk about the national level collaboration. This world is more and more divided by different beliefs, different cognitive thinkings, and who is my friend and who is my enemy. That's why we see that on the street of Davos, the Russian house right now is called Russian war crime house. I was thinking, what a joke that wife become not a neutralization organization. That's really sad. That's really sad. And then if we go to the really individual level, the psychological disordered people becoming more and more. I can guarantee here, everyone sitting in this house, in this room, everyone suffer now and then some degree of psychological disorder. Either it's depression, or it's anxiety, or somehow burnout. And you don't have your life. And I heard from my colleague telling that they have like how many females. I'm very happy. Okay, some of the females sitting on board, some of the females being promoted in the career development. The question would be, if females are very busy in the workspace, competing with men, hunting money, and who is actually educating our kids at home? Nanny. And nanny not be even educated, or grandma, grandpa even not be catching up for this society. So you see that this system is ridiculously diseased, and we are talking about now and never. When I heard about my colleagues said now or never, and I answered myself, I said never. If this system not change, it will never achieve. And we need some kind of chaos to completely change this system to be an area that humanity is a core. And what is the qualification of the humanity? Humanity, number one, is integrated. Integrated means that everyone that collaborates each other with honesty, with information transparency. In that case, that the companies, governments, agencies, and institutions won't exist because information transparent. In that case means that globalization won't exist because technology can help us to transfer everything, and we can actually farm our plants, our food next door. We don't need to go further to, Pakistan or Ukraine to get food. It means that all the talents and human capital can transfer to each country and without the national border. It means that Russia would be called a crime, and Ukraine would be called another name, and China wouldn't be called something. So this world actually no need the United Nations. And if that is the case, then sustainability can really achieve. Then we have the rigor, we have our system to work out. I give you an example. Some people ask me, how can we achieve that system? I said simple, just follow the body, our human body. If we think about Western medicine, as a first, that we have a different system, right? We have the digestion system, we have circulation system, we have a breathing system. So every system is a mother or son of another system, which means that you know what is the role of this system in your body and how you look after that. If we think about it from another perspective, traditional Chinese medicine perspective, then we know that there are 5 elements of the system, that water, fire, earth, metal, this kind of together and holding the whole system, who is a mother, who is a son, who is actually controlling each other. So nobody can get rid of nobody, and everyone needs everyone. If in that case, the power will disappear, means that everyone is equal, rather than we are sitting in Davos and talking about equality, which we never can be achieved. So I would urge everyone to think about it, how to achieve that, maybe from now, and from your children, from your grandchildren, to start think what kind of education we can offer them. I'm not trying to promote my Singularity Academy, but I'm telling you that each kid, each person has their singular point, which means that you are able to master cross-disciplinary knowledge, and you are able to, like a supercomputer, to calculate cross-disciplinary knowledge. The reason that education puts each of you into each discipline, like you're studying technology, you're studying accounting, whatever, it's just that this system wants you to sit on your seat steadily and not look around and not see that there is a free world that you can contribute. So I would urge everyone to start fetching as much cross-disciplinary knowledge as possible, especially for your children, and forget about a luxury product of education. Pay whatever $75,000 to the US universities or $30,000 to the British universities. I tell you, what you are studying in Pakistan, the content is absolutely exactly the same as Harvard University. It's just a different person talking about it. And I'm sure in the future, also already happening now, especially during pandemic, the kids, the students, really not really care about who is teaching me of this knowledge, what degree it is. They care about what content. So portfolio content is much more important than so-called status. As long as we keep this kind of status signaled identification, meaning that we are holding our titles around, then our world is not able to change. So we have to be kind of naked, walking on the street and telling each other, I am the honest human being. I can offer you this value, and you can offer me this value. So we can trade, and we can help each other, and we can communicate to each other, rather than, as information in transparency. That will be the pitfall, and that will be the fundamental problem of sustainability. So I hope it's very short. I hope everyone here will learn a lot from my colleagues, the singular practice, but also think about how can you really change in your family and from yourself and from your community, and forget about so-called nations. So-called like status that doesn't count anything. So I'm very, very open to any questions, and I'm open to give you advice of your children how to achieve their singular point, and to help you maybe help your company to achieve internationally or locally. That is actually our goal. Thank you.